Hello guys, this is Lisa, occupational therapist specialized in Padawan therapy, and today, as usual, on our Wednesday sessions, I am in live. For those who would like to ask questions and maybe you have some, you have some questions or you would like to share some of your stories and you would like my opinion as an occupational therapist, I work at Panacea Therapy Center. We are in Malta and we work with children with special needs, with different difficulties and different ages. Mainly we work with children with autism and sensory processing disorder, as well as ADHD, but we also work with children with neurological disorders. We work with kids who need some input through milestones, then children who need input, for example, in fine motor skills or gross motor skills, etc. So we are going to be having like different scenarios, no? And as an occupational therapist, I will be always try to adapt my session according to with who I am working. Now, if you have questions or if you would like me to specify a topic, don't forget to write me. I'm here for that. In my YouTube channel, you can see all my social media, so feel free to contact me if you have questions that you would like maybe more individual, in an individual way to ask me. I'm totally for that. So today's in the last weeks we were having different topics and we were discussing different I will say approaches. We're talking about sensory processing, we were talking about oral motor skills, we were talking about Padawan therapy. Many times you ask me a lot of things about Padawan method, so please feel free to ask me. I don't mind to repeat the question. Also, if other sessions you weren't connected, you can always check the sessions in my YouTube channel, okay? Today I had a very nice and positive session. We just finished with a boy of, teenager of 16 years old. We managed to go for a coffee with him and, it was very, very good. He managed to pay, he managed to order, he managed to have a very good conversation in the cafeteria. We managed to cross the road. So yeah, very, very successful session. And I'm super happy when we can do these community sessions as an occupational therapist. That's super great. I am more well known, I will say, as Padawan therapist, at least in this YouTube channel. But my profession is occupational therapy, and I will say that I like to talk about different topics. So even sometimes I will be developing more OT. Don't stop. I hope that this doesn't make you stop asking questions wherever you want to know. Mela, a little bit about me. Those who doesn't know me, well, I am an OT. I work with, like I said before, in one-to-one sessions. We also do group sessions, depends on the child, depends on the, obviously, of the needs. And I like to collaborate as well with other therapists. I am a true believer that OT, it's a great combination with a speech therapy, with physiotherapy, early intervention, ABA therapy, Padawan therapy, any methodology, that actually can reinforce the learning abilities of the child. Like I said, sometimes when we are having children with rare disorders, like cases like 1 in 200 in the world, it's very complicated to get information outside, and to read about it. So more therapists are involved, it's better. I do believe in multidisciplinary approach. Obviously, this is great, especially when all the therapists are working together. When the therapists are a little bit, I do my job and I don't really interact with other therapists, here we're going to have an issue. for sure somehow we're going to not find that understanding. So it's important that if you're a parent or if you are a therapist, work with other therapists. It's super important, Our job, it's very good, it's very important, but collaborate with other therapists, it's also highly important. I was just talking today with a mom who came into the session. She was really worried because different therapists give different advices, and a speech therapist will be advising this, and an OT this, and so on. And she was feeling a little bit stressful because she's not understanding exactly what she needs to do. And I always suggest that obviously you have to try to understand what are the main concern of the kid right now and see who is the therapist who can help. Padawan therapy, it's very open, no? So there is always a child who would benefit from Padawan therapy. Occupational therapy is a little bit more. Definitely anyone can be benefit from occupational therapy, but it's more known to be a little bit for fine motor skills or gross motor skills or sensory processing, etc. So I always like the combination between these two. And last week you were asking me about the dummy, you were asking me about the hand exercises. So if you have questions, you can ask me again. You were asking me as well, I believe, about the Chewy tube, the yellow one, yellow, brown, light brown type. We use them as well. Obviously, depend on the need, depend on the child, no? If it's just a session of occupational therapy, I'm not going to be using strategies of Padawan because there is no need. But if we are lacking on, I will say, neurofunctional input, so then yes, then I will be using some Padawan strategies. Some or all. Depends. So yes, we were talking last week. I have to still put the video of last week. We were talking a little bit just about the sessions and some activities that I was sharing with you, that we had new activities. Today I would like to focus a little bit more on the milestones, on this topic of how important it is crawling or not. So I know that if this is not a topic that you would like me to talk, I'm sorry, it might be a little bit boring, but write me in the chat. Write me and I will switch and I will talk about something else. However, many times I have this same question about the importance of crawling. Now I will have a kid of 8 years old, 7 years old, 4 years old, and I will still reinforce crawling. And I will have interns, because we do accept internships here at Panacea. So if you want to come to work and to have the experience, to see our session, write me. So when we have internships or when we have other therapists working, at Panacea, they will be always observing and asking the same question, like, but why are you working on rolling or crawling? Well, everybody understands that it's a milestone and everybody understands that it's very important. However, not everybody understands why at the age of 7, 8, like I said before, you're still working on crawling. Well, crawling is very important, very, very important. Rolling and crawling are those activities, fundamental activities for coordination. So when we are having difficulties in coordination and we're having children who, doesn't know if the hand dominance is the right or the left, or they will be maybe kicking the ball with the right, but then, for example, throwing the beanbag with the left, or they don't know how to run, or they will have difficulties to jump. All those are consequences of difficulties in coordination. So then, depend on the therapist, you might say, so I need to work on coordination. However, the best way to work on coordination, besides certain activities that nowadays, if you put in Google, you have a lot, it's to work in crawling and rolling. So first rolling, obviously, and then crawling. Because it's a natural activity, a natural input that our nerve system has it, since we are little. So nobody goes to the baby and say, look, this is the way how you're going to crawl, or look, this is the way how you have to roll. It's a natural movement that our body has it, no? So it's very important to reinforce that. Very, very important, especially if your child has difficulties in coordination. It's a very fun, first of all, it's a fun exercise. Second of all, it's very simple. So the instructions are simple, and at the same time that they are simple and fun, they connect so many different skills. So it's not difficult to understand what you need to do. It's very interactive. So, both rolling and crawling. Rolling can be a little bit, you will not be rolling for 30 minutes, neither crawling, mind you, but you can still do some, some rolling, maybe holding the ball, or just to see who is faster, me or another cheeky monkey. Or if you are having, for example, crawling, what we do from Padawan therapy is we have a ball, we throw the ball and we go crawling towards the ball. We can be doing a race. We can be checking if the child is crawling with cross pattern or homolateral pattern, which here you have a difference. Sometimes on internet, if you check, you have different types of crawling. And that's fine. There is no one particular or the best way. However, it's very important that the crawling happens in a crossing pattern. So when you are crawling, you need to cross. Right, left, right. Sometimes children with rare disorders, children with autism will have difficulties to do crawling. Sometimes they don't crawl at all, which is fine. Sometimes they will be crawling like bunnies, so it's like a hopping. Sometimes they will be crawling on the patata, on the backward. Okay. Sometimes they will be crawling, sitting, sliding, kind of. So there is obviously all those different type of crawling are not bad, but usually we should just get the traditional one. And the traditional one, it's I am on my floor, so my hands and my knees are on the floor, and I go crossing patterns towards the ball or towards whatever you want. Sometimes we have kids who are fascinating with Peppa Pig or dinosaurs or Lego or whatever you want to put. The idea is to motivate the child to do the crawling. Sometimes you will have children crawling with their feet up, which shouldn't happen. The feet should be on the floor. So all these, I'm just telling you because they are very important signs. They are very important signs for us to understand why the child is having difficulties in attention, coordination, sitting tolerance, endurance. And you will say, what? Attention and coordination? How it's possible that goes in the same level, no? You have to understand that obviously the way how our body is settled, regulated, how we are good with our endurance levels, we can perform better in the academics or not. So sometimes activities that should be there already set a long time ago in a proper way can interfere in our attention skills, cognitive skills, etc., even fine motor skills. Another point very important in crawling, rolling, obviously I'm not going to go much into it because rolling is rolling, right? There is no, besides to give you some hints that the child should be doing a fluent rolling, okay, shouldn't be like in blocks. So you should realize that the child is rolling in a fluent way, Besides that, we don't have much indications. However, for crawling, yes. Besides the feet should be touching the floor, and like I said, usually should be a crossing pattern. It's important as well that the hands are open on the mat or on the floor. So the hand should be staying on the floor. Okay, it's very, very important. Why I'm telling you this? Because for our fine motor skills, we need to develop that the hand is open completely. We cannot be crawling like this, we cannot be crawling like this. Okay, we should be with the hand flat on the floor. This is fundamental for wrist, okay, for fine motor skills, for our fluency between and differentiation between shoulder, elbow and hand, etc., etc. Okay, coordination starts from every single bit. So it's important that if you are a therapist or if you are a mom or papa who is suddenly, would like to observe a little bit more about crawling, we check this point. Now I'm going to go in the other room and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean, so we can get this better, okay? Because when it's talking like this, I know that most of you can get it, but I also know that my dear parents like to see the things, and I prefer to show things as well. Okay, so just come with me. I'm going to show you in the other therapeutic room that we have here what exactly I mean by crawling. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to settle in and we are going to go for it. It's super important because, like I said, when we work on handwriting skills and we work on scissoring and we work on other abilities, we get sometimes very frustrated because we don't see results. And we say, like, my child is doing occupational therapy for I don't know how many sessions and I don't see anything. Well, it could be because your child needs other type of approach, or maybe needs to improve in something else than having fine motor skills, letter formation, number formation skills. Okay, so I'm going to place the camera. Just give me 1 second. Give me the opportunity to place it nice. Okay, I hope you can see me. For those who are going to follow me later, I'm just going to show you the hands should be here. So they are going to be on the floor. Okay, my elbow goes inside, so outside facing, not inside, so I don't have any different positions. We are having here, okay, elbows in, not out, not in, and the hands are open nicely on the floor. Okay, now I'm just going to move a little bit. It's important that our feet stays on the floor, not up, on the floor. Okay, super important. And when we are working on the floor, it's also important the way how we are going to motivate the child to do the crawling. Okay, so sorry for such movement of cameras, but I try to show you the maximum. So then if someone is watching here and would benefit from this tip, you can you will get it, okay, and you will have it. This is not applying for only babies. Crawling position, it's important for any age. So if your child is struggling with coordination, if your kid is struggling with fine motor skills, if your kid is struggling with some physical activities when he or she requires hand, meaning tug of war, maybe hanging, maybe swinging, maybe maintaining balance in different surfaces, we need to check the crawling, okay? My recommendation. Crawling and rolling. So I'm just going to point out something else. I'm going to put the camera. Like I said here, we're having the hands, okay? We're having the feet on the floor, okay? Not up, not with the toes, on the floor nicely, okay? And here we are going to have something, a ball, whatever, you know. So important that we stimulate the child. In this crawling position, if you see someone going like this is a type of crawling that you don't want to see. The idea is that your child is capable to do cross pattern. When I'm talking about cross pattern, it means that you will be able to use right, left, etc. Okay, so there is no same side, sorry, there is no this movement, okay? This is very important. So that's about that's about crawling and rolling. You will say maybe you will say, Lisa, but I don't have, my child seems okay with crawling, which will happen. Just give me 1 second. Let me just put you here, sorry. You will say that, let me find the best way, because otherwise I will not be able to explain myself. Lisa, but my child is not having issues with crawling, because, you know, crawling is not that difficult. He is crawling in a good and crossing pattern, and there is no any atypical movement. Very good. So then maybe we can check a little bit how he is developing with other gross motor skills and coordination. So maybe hopping, maybe kicking the ball, maybe jumping forward, hopscotch, doing other a little bit maybe difficult activities to see if his crossing pattern is settled properly. Okay, because most of the time, children who will be having difficulties on paper, it's related as well to coordination issues. So that's like a tip from me to you, and I hope this is going to be useful for you. How to fix it? Like I said, if your child is having good crawling skills, then we can go for swimming. Maybe we can go for running. Maybe we can start, doing some other physical activities or sports that will benefit your child in a little bit more heavy way and better way. Because like I said, coordination, when we are growing up, our skills, our senses change. Yes, so we have to take in consideration that depends on the age of your child, depends on the demand. If the demand is, if the child is not moving a lot, if the child is not involved in physical activities, it could be that, the lack of physical activity implicates that he is having a little bit of difficulties on paper. As well, be careful about, like I said, about the way how he or she crawls, and then the amount of pressure that we are using when we are working on the floor. Sometimes children tends to, shows you signs of need for proprioceptive input. So proprioceptive input, it's everything that we need that we do with our touch and pressure on our joints and our muscles. Okay, and how we can work on proprioceptive input, it's to be exposed to different textures and different pressures. Now, sometimes you will have children who will be using way too much pressure on paper, and they will be using way too much pressure when they are working on the floor. So this is something that we need to fix as well. Shouldn't be there. We shouldn't be focused too much pressure or too much intensivity and something that it's easy. Like I said, the activities that we always propose to kids should be easy. They should be fun. I'm not telling you that we are clowns here, we are having fun, but we are working. It's very important to keep that in mind. But it's not meaning that we don't have to have a little bit of fun or make the work a little bit more entertaining. Not always, believe me, I am quite, for those who knows me, if you are here or you will see me in the future, or you know me because you work with me. I am quite strict at my work and I like discipline, but at the same time, we have to understand that with a little bit more of being positive, no, and finding the right way of bringing some fun, we can get better results. I'm just trying to figure out the best way how to put this camera so I don't have to move my hands that much. Okay, I found the way. Perfect. What else? What else we are going to talk a little bit today about before I will cut. Just to remind you, I am here every Wednesday at 7:30. I love to talk, but the most that I would really, really appreciate is to know your feedback. So, or your questions. Or maybe I should slow down because I talk too much and too fast. So please write me, okay? Don't be shy, okay? Mela, what else I wanted to talk? I wanted to see a little bit the milestones because I am super fan of milestones. I work a lot on the milestones because I truly believe that they can have answers to other difficulties. Some other milestones that we work on coordination are the bear walking, which not often it's appreciated or that you will see it. However, it's also very important. Besides that, we introduce, like I said before, hopscotch, running, kicking, jumping, hopping, a little bit of everything. Those activities will always help to boost the coordination. When everything that has to do with crossing the middle line, so just for you to know, I'm just going to go a little bit back. You know that we have the right side and the left side, and we in order for us to say that actually I have good coordination and I am capable to do involve my both sides at the same time, it means that I am using bilateral coordination and I'm using bilateral movement. So I'm using both sides and I'm capable to cross the middle line. Our middle line separates our right from our left, and when I need to do two things at the same time and do, for example, imitation of movement, it's meaning that I am coordinated and that I am capable to do this bilateral movement. For example, let's say exactly catching and throwing a ball, yes, playing with, for example, tennis ball as well, it could work. You have a lot of activities that will reinforce these skills. Most important is that if you are a parent, you would like to use them, just make sure that you know why you're using them. If you're a therapist, make sure for sure that you know why you're using them. Because in my practice, it happens many times that you will have therapists suggesting a goal, proposing a goal to work, but there is no clear reason behind why we are working on this. Yeah, so it's very important to know what you're doing. Very important, especially if you're an occupational therapist or any therapist in the fields working with children with special needs. Educate yourself. This is super important. And I think that's all. About coordination, that's all. I would like to talk about more things, but nobody is having questions for me. So it's yes, I think I don't have more stories to share or more information. Stories I have a lot. But information, yeah, I just wanted to focus a little bit more about rolling and crawling, and just give you some knowledge, main knowledge, not to focus too much, because when I talk with parents, I like to talk simple. There is no need to go, to very big concepts, because at the end of the end, we need results and we need to understand. And not always Not always when we talk with concepts, we can understand even each other sometimes. So very important that, you know, when you are giving suggestion to the parents, you explain exactly what you're doing, what you're doing, how this will help. And if you don't know, that's okay. That's totally okay. It's okay to not know. Then you can maybe refer to another therapist that might help. For example, today I was having a therapy session with a child who is a little bit difficult in behavior, and I love behavior. I like to challenge myself as a therapist, and I work on behavior, obviously, because it's, as we were talking in other meetings, I believe in ABA. But at the same time, I like to apply some of the strategies because it's important. Behavior is with us. We cannot be doing a therapeutic intervention if we don't take care of the behavior, right? So this particular child is having slightly difficulties with behavior, and the mother is really worried about it. So I suggested to go to ABA for ABA maybe consultation to see if this approach can help. It's not meaning that I cannot handle the kid. It's not meaning that I don't want to handle the kid, or I don't know how to, or any other don't. I know how to handle the kid. I know how can I help him, but I also believe that there are other therapists specialized for that. And that's okay, and it's totally healthy. We are here to educate, we are here to promote, and we are here to help. That's the main reason, okay? And sometimes it's important that if you don't know, that's okay. Maybe someone else, maybe you know someone who for sure knows. So, sorry, that was a little bit long, but that was my intention to share with you. So yes, I do believe in ABA a lot, and I do like to work with other therapists who can help, you know, not just the child and the parent, but also for me. Because having just me working with a child and targeting too many different areas, it's going to take me years to get one result. But when we have a team and we are working in teamwork, the results can be achievable way faster. So why not? Why not? Yeah, that's a little bit my message for today. Okay, so I will be stopping here the conversation. I hope that some of these hints and suggestions were useful for you. Like I said before, I would love to hear from you. So don't hesitate to write me, contact me, or just, you know, comment in the videos, rewatch the video if you need. And I will be seeing you next Wednesday. Every Wednesday, 7:30 in this YouTube channel, okay? You can watch some of my videos that I'm doing. I have, if you would like to know, and I think you could see as well, I have some courses as well prepared. I'm having some courses coming soon as well for those who would like to learn a little bit more about certain things that we are doing here in this amazing profession. And yes, I wish you a wonderful rest of the week, wonderful day, and I will be seeing you in the next Wednesday. Bye bye.